Madea, I gotta go out of town. I was wondering if you can come by and just keep an eye on Tiffany.
No, son, no, I can't come over there. It's Halloween night. You know I don't like to go nowhere on Halloween.
I'll pay you.
I'm on my way. I'll be there now.
That is the famous movie character Madea, a creation of Tyler Perry, the man who also happens to play her under that wig and dress. Depending on the day, Tyler Perry is an actor, a writer, a producer, a director, and an entrepreneur, often all in the same day. Perry grew up in poverty. Today, his personal net worth is estimated at nearly $500 million, and he's earned it. Tyler once worked as a shoe shine, a bill collector, and a used car salesman to earn the money he needed to put on his first stage production. Over 2 decades, he has built an empire to impress even his inspiration, mentor, and friend, Oprah Winfrey. Tyler and I got together for a Sunday sit-down at Fishbowl at the Dream Hotel Midtown here in Manhattan.
I'm Madea. Mud to the damn D-E-A.
Madea is a pistol-packing, tough-talking, politically incorrect grandma.
Does Santa really work in the North Pole?
No, he don't work. He lays on the couch and he drinks all day. He's trifling. I have to pay all the bills. He kind of like your mama. Now, bye.
But under the wig and the dress is a soft-spoken gentleman who happens to be one of the most powerful people in Hollywood.
Hello.
Tyler Perry's creation, Mabel Madea Simmons, first appeared on the big screen in the 2005 movie Diary of a Mad Black Woman. She immediately became an audience favorite.
Please, I want to see you do it.
Is that a blast to play that character?
No.
It's not?
No, are you
Why?
kidding me? It's uncomfortable, it's hot, it's, I hate the wig. What else, man? The pantyhose are pulling the hair off my legs. It's just, the shoes are too tight. It's just, you name it, it's all around not a good time. But the great time I have is watching the audience reaction to it after it's done. So I enjoy that.
So when the movie comes out and it's a big hit, does part of you go, oh man, I'm gonna have to do another one of these?
I never want to be that guy, but I'm just like, the minute people stop coming, that broad is dead, man. She's dead.
Thank you, Jesus.
Those pantyhose may be uncomfortable, but Madea has been very good to the 48-year-old Perry. The 10 movies have brought in more than $500 million at the box office.
Hallelujah. Thank God.
The character is a reflection, Perry says, of the grandmothers he knew growing up in New Orleans. Tyler Perry was born Emmett Perry Jr. He grew up in a home with an abusive father, also named Emmett. At 16, Perry Jr. legally changed his name to Tyler in an attempt to escape his father's name and legacy.
The abuse you were suffering at the hands of your dad, the abuse your mother was suffering at the hands of your father, do you think you knew as a kid, this is bad and I've got to get out of here?
Oh no, for sure, yeah. I clearly knew that the feeling of it, kids carry the whole burden of their parents, and I took on the burden of my mother and her pain and suffering, and I felt very compelled to try and do all I could to make her happy and make her smile and make her laugh. So, you know, I'm a great man of faith because of my mother. You know, no matter how dark it was, no matter how difficult things were, she would take me to church, and there was always hope.
Perry's new book, Higher is Waiting, is a spiritual pep talk for people who feel hopeless, coming from a man who's been there.
I had a very vivid imagination, and I think that is the life-saving thing for me, because I could be in the middle of hell and screaming and yelling and go to a beautiful place where there's grass and trees and a park in my head.
What, Tyler, as a kid, did you dream about being when you grew up? What was possible from where you were sitting?
I wanted to be an architect, but I'll never forget a school teacher asking us what did we want to be, and everyone, the kids went around, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a preacher, I want to be, so when he gets to me, I said, I want to be a millionaire. And he goes, well, you're never going to make it because you're poor and black. He said, the system is set up against you, it's never going to happen.
Luckily, Perry was not convinced by that argument. He worked odd jobs while he began to write plays. He was working as a janitor, in fact, when he had his first brush with the woman who later would change his life.
And is the story true, Tyler, that you were working in a hotel and she was staying in a room and you ran into her?
Yep, I back in that hallway all day long because I knew she had to get off that elevator to go to the room.
Did you get her autograph?
I got her autograph, and she was leaving. The day she was leaving, I'm vacuuming the floor, and she walks past and says, Tyler, just say it. Like, can I have your autograph, please? And she turns around, she puts an O on the page, and yeah, it was a good moment.
It was Oprah, now the godmother to Perry's 3-year-old son, who inspired him to begin writing.
I was watching the Oprah show back in the early 90s, and she said it was cathartic to write things down. So I started writing stories down, and they were coming page by page, long form by hand. And in that whole situation, all of this was born. So it's strange how you fall into your destiny sometimes.
Tyler left home and moved to Atlanta at 21 with the wild dream of putting on shows for a living. He financed his first play, I Know I've Been Changed, with his life savings of $12,000. On the first night, only 30 people showed up.
And things kept falling apart. No more for 7 or 8 years of trying to get the show up, nothing worked.
Homeless and living out of his car, Perry was ready to give up. And then something happened.
March 12, 1998, when we played the House of Blues, when everything changed. And I'll never forget that night. That line around the corner trying to get in there blew my mind.
So where'd the line around the corner come from?
I did a few things different in that show. I hired a bunch of local stars.
Perry was onto something.
Did you have to tear up her flower?
Y'all act like she didn't owe me $20.
Soon, he was performing 300 shows a year for 30,000 people a week. His plays toured in sold-out arenas along the South's so-called Chitlin Circuit, a historic term used for black-friendly venues where artists like Ray Charles, Billie Holiday, and Duke Ellington got their starts. Those big crowds followed Perry into movie theaters. He's the maestro behind 19 movies, 20 plays, and 7 TV shows, with more on the way. Altogether, his projects have grossed more than $2 billion, and Perry has a hand in every detail of production, from script writing to directing to acting.
The work is a drug to me. I love it. I love every minute of it.
In 2015, Tyler's company, Tyler Perry Studios, purchased a 330-acre former Army base to house his empire. When it's completed, the new studios will be twice the size of the Warner Brothers lot in California.
Do you still get pinch me moments?
Every day.
Do you?
Every day, man. Yeah, I drive into that studio and down in Atlanta at Fort McPherson, realizing it was once a Confederate Army base, and I'm the steward over it. I've been given charge to make sure that it's taken care of, and every day I will go in there going, God, this is amazing.
You have a young son of your own now.
Yeah.
Which by all accounts, like any dad, has changed you. Do you remember all the things that happened in your childhood and go way the opposite with your own?
What I realized is that I learned in reverse. If I just don't do the things that my father did, with the exception of supporting and taking care of, then I've got my answer on how to raise him.
Next month, Tyler begins a new project, and it's a long way from Madea. He's playing Colin Powell in an upcoming film about former Vice President Dick Cheney.
I'm studying everything I can get my hands on. I'm watching him and look at his mannerisms, the way he speaks, the way he moves. I'm studying everything I can. You know, I'm not going to be the guy that goes up in there and says, "I'm Colin Powell, hello." You know, you know what I mean? So I'm working on getting it right.
You don't want to slip into the Madea voice when you're in front of the UN Security Council as Colin Powell.
God forbid. God forbid.
Now, Tyler may not like Medea's pantyhose, but he'll be wearing them again when her next movie comes out in 2018. Tyler's inspirational book, Higher is Waiting, is available now. By the way, despite the abuse Tyler suffered at the hands of his father, Emmett, he has forgiven him and now provides Emmett with a home and food. Those are the only two things, Tyler says, Emmett gave him as a child. To hear more on that and more from all of our Sunday sit-downs, check out our web extras at today.com/Sunday.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.